How are we all going, people? Just waiting for everyone to get on here at the moment. Awesome stuff. Let's get this bad boy all set up. So how are we all going tonight? Corey, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you on. Good to have you on. Always love to see new names, new faces. Chris, it's been a while. How are we all doing? Let me Good to have you on. Debbie, fantastic. Even better to have you on. So hopefully everyone's having an amazing Monday. Wherever you are around the world. I know it's quite cold. I know it's quite cold in Melbourne. I still haven't got used to this cold weather. Living in Bali for almost 3-4 years, and the Melbourne cold, it gets to your bones. It actually just gets to your bones. And I'm not normally this red in the face. I've got my salt lamp, so it gives a bit of a reflection. So let's get this bad boy on the road. How do you stay happy all the time? Do you want me to answer that to you? Do you want me to answer honestly? I wouldn't say all the time. I always show up. I really work on managing my my energy. So if my energy is down, and if I'm feeling under the weather, I won't do a live stream. I'll unplug. Even show up for my clients. I'll just say, look, I really need a day to get into my right energy. Not all days are spot on. Not all days are motivated. Not all days are full of energy either. Jody, good morning from New Jersey. So that's a good question. Just keep the questions coming as well, Corey. I really like them, brother. Where are you located? Whereabouts are you located? Obviously Australia. I'm pretty sure that you are. So. My motivation, what I'm going to go through, I'm going to go through a number of different topics and situations as well. Where are we at? So I did a post just before and I said, how much is overcoming the below topics? What would you pay and what would you exchange to master the skills of the following? So what I want to tell people firstly as well I like to teach and lead through circumstances and understandings of where people are in their life. And life is a battle. Life can be sticky. You can feel like you're walking through quicksand. That the more you want to get your head above the bills, get your head above the pain, get your head above anything, the more it feels like life pulls you down. And you all can nod your head because we've all been there. It seems like the more light that we put into the world, the more goodness that we put into the world, that we get faced by demons, we get faced by darkness, we get faced by challenges. That happens as well. What you really need to understand it, and why I'm holding this live stream or this teaching or whatever you'd like to call it, an interaction, that I like to give personal experience. I like to give that a try. No, sorry, really bad word. I like to give that an attempt, that I want to go through certain things in my life, and that if I come through with the goods, if I come through with the wins, and I do, that I really want to teach about it, yeah? And just to give you a little bit of a story where this is coming from, that everyone knows, without getting too much into it, obviously in October, my life took a drastic turn, and it's been for the good. It's been a completely different aspect, moving from Bali, moving from America, coming back to Melbourne. Now with my beautiful partner Jaboa, and we're creating a whole new life for ourselves and everyone else in that. So through that, and that massive change of forecasting, knowing what you're doing, knowing where you're going, knowing who you're going to be with, so on and so forth. And what you guys need to understand as well, that my mind isn't like most people's, or it's I'm not saying I'm any better or any worse, but when you do a lot of forwarding, a lot of planning, a lot of forward future goal setting, that's what it needs to understand. Rachel Gill goes, be good for others is for yours. Awesome. And what you need to, always having that goal, knowing what's happening tomorrow, next month, next year, and so on and so forth. Once that goal gets taken from you, or that path, or that timeline, you're like, geez, what happens now? But what I want to share with you all, that in life, there's going to be sticky moments. In life, there's going to be times when we're faced with an illness, we're faced with diversity, we're faced with betrayal, we're faced with something that's not going to serve us and it's going to stop us. So why I'm telling you this, it is because in my life, I bless all the times where I have been challenged. I bless all the times when I've had to, geez, that's crazy. My t-shirt just fell off the hanger. Then I'm like, okay, Spirit, I'll get back to you later. And I'm faced with health imperfections. I've been faced with a lot of betrayals, people doing the wrong thing by me, challenges, just different roadblocks. But I've been speaking to a lot of people over the last week, and a lot of new people have come into my life, and I'm looking at all the new people that added me in the last few days, and we're having conversations, and I thank you all. And, like I even said to Corey, thank you for, being part of it and interacting. And obviously, thank you for everyone that's always on every live stream and part of the family. You guys, I always send you my love, and you know that. So a lot of people have been finding life quite hard, yeah? They've been finding it that, Lee, it's just getting too hard. I try one thing, and I say try because that's what they use. The word try is basically they're not going 100%, and I try this, I try that, and it just seems like nothing's working. So what I say to you, this is going to be hard for you to firstly, hey, my sister, Helene, how are you? This is going to be hard for you to concept, and it is when I'm talking to people, and I said to them, well, you need to stop, and I do this on purpose to break their pattern. You need to stop with feeling sorry for yourself. You need to stop the sooking. You need to stop the sulking like a little child, because life's going to get better when you get better. Life's going to change when you're going to change. Life will stay miserable because you stay miserable. And they go, that's not fair, Lee, because this happened and that happened and that happened and that happened and that happened. Yeah, there's things that happen around us, but what happens in here? Who's in control of in here? Anyone else or us? Yeah, ask yourself that. We know the external, there's people that act like complete idiots, there's people that don't respect us. That's out there. Remove yourself from the environment, remove yourself from the energy, but in our internal world, who's in control? Them, you, or me? I'm in control of how I feel, I'm in control of my own will. But what I say to you, this might be hard for whatever you're going through, yeah? But what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to prove this to you, because if you do as I do, from now to that time until you get the change, you're going to get the result, and it's guaranteed. So through my life, there's been times when I can't see the light. There's times I've seen a little bit. There's times I can see a bit more, and there's times I can see a lot. So why I'm telling you this, doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter how bad you feel or what a person's done or what's been taken out from you and how sick you've gone and you can't see the light because you have the shutters on, or you can just see a little bit, is that if you keep showing up every day, if you keep showing up positivity, have a plan, if you keep showing up with the right people, if you keep modeling excellency, so people that have been there and done what you want, people that have got the results that you desire, people that have written and they've created the path, then where that's going to show you, Matty boy, good to have you on, what that's going to show you and where that's going to show you, why I say where that's going to show you, it is because in life, yeah, I'm going to show you something. In life, what you're seeing right now, this is how most people operate. Yeah? They see the darkness. They go, what are we going to do tomorrow? I don't know. Why don't we just get up and make it? Or why don't I get a job? And I can, I'll just make it up. Yeah, let's do a job. And I'll be a robot and I'll just get up and I'll hate it. Okay, what about in 1 week? Where you going to be? Darkness. What about in a month? Where you going to be? Darkness. Oh, okay. You know what? Because of all this stuff happening, how do you feel within yourself? Darkness. Are you loving yourself? Darkness. So what you're experiencing right now, people, is what the majority of the world, that instead of them having a plan, instead of them knowing what's going on, but guess what? Why you're seeing what you're seeing, and when you're seeing the darkness, you can eventually, once you start having the right people, that you will start to see light. Yeah? And how I know this? And how I know this? Because I've been there many times. But if you're sitting there and all you see is darkness, and you can't see light at the end of the tunnel, and you can't feel hope, and it feels like you're basically just on ice skates and you're just treading water and you're not getting anywhere, that where it firstly starts from, and why I don't want you to give up, and obviously there's bad thoughts that come into people's minds, and we take dark, we go in that dark spot, and we're going to go, oh, it's getting too much, and I want it to stop. It's getting too much. I'm going to do something. I'm going to drink. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to be angrier, and I'm going to focus on the negative. So where life will take you, if you allow it, it will take you down such a path that it will break you. That what will happen is, once you start focusing and bringing your attention towards the negative, or a negative person, or pain, or scarcity, or anything, once you take your thought patterns there, what happens is you start to create more of that. You start to create more negativity. You start to create more pain. You start to talk about pain. You start to create an identity around that. And before you know it, you're talking about you're talking about people in an understanding of pain. You start to think about scarcity. You start to keep moving your focus. And exactly what Tamara just said, good to have you on, brother. You need to change your focus. And why I want to tell you this, because when we came back from Bali, it was the 7th of June, the 7th of last month. And we had an amazing breakthrough, yeah? When I say an amazing breakthrough, breakthroughs, multiple, yeah? And when you're moving forward, and when you're giving that strength to others, and when you've obviously given hope in life, because I'll be honest, at every retreat, after the retreat, it feels like you've just given birth. Like I know I haven't been, I'm not a mum, I'm not a female, but you've given life to others. Yeah, I'm talking people that are younger than me, people that are older than me, people that have had more life experience, people that have had less life experience, but you're giving life to others. And it was so amazing that it really took my personal belief system to the next level. Because the way us humans operate, it doesn't matter how many motivational DVDs, how many seminars you go to, how many whatever, but until you have that internal switch flicked on, or that internal awakening, or that internal understanding of having that aha moment, I see it, I feel it, I know it, that's when you will start to believe. And only then, not before, not after, but only then. So when people come to the retreats and they have their mind orgasms, yeah, they have these breakthroughs upon breakthroughs, and they see the light, they feel it, they experience that, and they go, you know what? I can do this. I can be that person. I can live a better life. You can't put a price to that feeling. So through the understanding and the movement of going through that, and it's scary, because that's a controlled environment. But when you come back, and it's like sending your kids off to school, yeah? You don't know what's going to happen. Is there bullies, or are they going to get sick? Or, you don't want to send your children back to school, or you don't want to send them off, oh, are they going to be okay? They might fall over. And that's how I feel when my team and my family, when I don't like the word clients, when my brothers and sisters go back into the real world. Because when they go back into the real world, they're filled with diversity, they're filled with energy vampires, they're filled with so many things that are going to challenge them to be able to, that's going to take their, it's going to take their attention away, so that they end up going, because not everyone functions at this same vibration, the same understanding, the same knowing. They don't give the love, they don't give appreciation. Their whole identity and their whole life's at a completely different level. So it's hard when you go back into that environment, when you've just had these breakthroughs, when you've learned all this stuff, and it's, you go, oh my God, and it becomes hard because other people aren't seeing life through the same pair of eyes as you do. They're not functioning. They're not wanting to grow. They don't believe in themselves. They don't have the support, and so on and so forth. So it's quite challenging. So what I want you guys to understand, and what I really want you to pay respect to, that once the people end up coming back into the environment, and it does get hard, and they might fall, and they might really fuck up, because guess what happens? When you have great power, you have great responsibility, because when you have tasted and known that you deserve that life, and when you fuck up, you go, oh my God, I actually can do it, and I'm not doing it, so it hurts even more, and it can put people even worse into a backward spiral. And that's what a lot of my clients have said to me, and I know that as well, that I have experienced this, I have tasted it, I know where I'm going, and now I go back and I sit there and with my procrastination strategy and do nothing. And that's a choice, because if you have power, then why wouldn't you use it? If you have the strategies, why wouldn't you use it? If you have the environment, why wouldn't you use that? If you have the resources, why wouldn't you use that? And the answer is simple, that you truly do not love yourself enough to want to make the change. Lucy, good to have you on. Great to see Lucy from the TCI crew. Awesome stuff. Thank you for the on. And where people are really starting to get into a mixture of, I call it like a washing machine or a mixed bag of lollies, where they basically, they just keep bumping heads with everybody and they don't get anywhere. And it is that when you start moving forward, hey Ryan, good to have you on, bro. When you start moving forward in life, and when you start, obviously wanting to evolve and grow and think of new things, and I deserve a better life, that you're always challenged to the point when, okay, I'm going to do something, but there's that time when you stop and you waste the time, you go back further. It's like when you go on a diet. Yeah, you know that you've been dieting, you've been disciplined, you feel great because, you're looking good, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden you get all emotional and you're like, fuck this, you know what? I don't really love myself. You don't say you don't love yourself, but you feel it. I'm not going to look after myself. And then what do you go and do? You go and splurge, you go and eat, or, I've been good all week, but then you get in emotional, you have a fight with somebody, people around your environment, and then bang, I'm going to go and emotionally eat, I'm going to drink, I'm going to damage myself. And that's exactly what people are doing. That they're discovering that they can have this new life, they're discovering that they can be better, they're discovering of being this better human, and then what they do is, they will allow an external factor, they will allow a person, energy, a situation, whatever it might be, get to them, and then they will punish themselves by not following through on a daily routine, moving forward and being a better version of themselves. I know this very well because I do it to myself. Not all the time, but there's times when I'm weak and you just go, fuck this person, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't matter. And I'm saying this because I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a guru or I'm just a master and every day's perfect. No. A lot of days are perfect. I've got amazing results and I've changed many people's lives. But what I'm going to tell you is that I'm going to be very honest as well. There's the days I'm slow. There's days I'm, being in my feminine as a leader and a masculine man. There's days I'm weak. There's days my anger will, will show up here and there, but there's not many of them. Yeah, that's true. It is true, and we are humans. So what we want to understand is that why I'm leading you up to the story, and I'm painting you a bit of a picture here, that there are going to be times, people, when you are going to be motivated in pain. And that's most of the times what happens to people, that you are motivated in pain, and that's when you want to change your life. But what I want to tell you, that it doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter how hard things feel or where you feel behind the eight ball. It doesn't matter how many people have hurt you or left you and you're thinking, oh my God. It doesn't matter how many bills you've got. It doesn't matter how much weight you've put on. Because you can always turn it around. You can always change that. You can always be the light at the end of the tunnel. Not wanting to wait for someone to come and fucking save you, because they won't. What you need to be is the change, the bridge. Yeah, you need to understand this, people, that you need to become you need to be able to bring the right resources in, bring the wrong people out, take the wrong energy out, bring the right energy in, and become the identity and the character that you need to become to manifest your dreams and your goals. But you need to stop the outside noise. You need to stop the outside push. You need to stop the outside scatter. Stop. Press the pause button to not what's important, because guess what? What's important is what's going to keep you strong this week, next week, in a year's time. If what you're doing now isn't improving your life in a weeks, in a months, in a years, and so on, then that can wait. Because what you should be working on right now, which is going to make you into a better woman and a better man right now. So a lot of people will do that when they've got the C word, they're being diagnosed with the famous C word, or someone has left them, or they get that down on themselves that they've got something to their they want to shoot their head off, slit their wrist, take some drugs, and enough's enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Lucy goes, but we all need to learn to keep going, need to stop the self-sabotage and be the unicorn, of course, and that's so true. So that's what we need to understand, people, that what I want to tell you is that when I came back, and the story's jumping on purpose, when I came back from the retreat and we had these amazing breakthroughs, it felt like we gave birth, gave life, gave a new existence, gave a new knowing to all these beautiful adults. Myself, my partner, all my very good friend, my best mate Ryan, my other best mate Maddie, and a lot of my very close clients. And I had my own breakthrough as well. But once we came back, we were all faced with diversity. We were all faced with, challenges. We were all faced with darkness. And, all these things were popping up. And I'm just like, what's going on here? One thing after another. And there's something big that happened to me before the retreat as well. And I sat back, and this is where it gets scary. This is where it gets scarier. We sit back and I'm going, am I creating this? Because I am very manifestational. I'm what I put my mind to. When I'm in my power, I know when I'm in my power, because I attract it and I get it, and I know it becomes easy. And then I look at myself and look how I've operated through that week, and I'm like, well, that's where I'm at. Yeah. Tamika goes, we're all here for some special. Stop being a prisoner of the past. Become the architect of your future. Beautiful. That's exactly right. And I love how people sort of pop up and that with their cool little things. I hope you live by it as well. So when all this started to come about, and I'm like, am I causing this? Because it seemed like resistance with one person, resistance with this person, and that, and the rest of that. And what I realized and what I discovered was that, and when this gets scary, is when you start to blame yourself, how have you caused this? How have you affected this? How are you creating this? What I will say to you, be very, very careful, and look at maybe, and be honest, and be enough of a leader to say, okay, I could have ignited this, what could I have done better? But do not blame yourself for anything, because you do not force anyone else to act a certain way. They choose to, yeah? And they choose to react, and so on and so forth. So you're not the cause of that, but how are you adding to the positive or to the negative? So all these things were happening. And I could have sat there and gone, oh my God, I'm causing this, I'm that. Oh my, my life's falling apart like I did, before this amazing journey I took 6-7 years ago. But what I looked and understood was that I'm standing in my truth. I'm standing in my power. I'm leading with my heart on my sleeve, yeah? As I've got, I've got my business logo across my whole arm. And what happens is, if people drop their standards, if people lose their way, if people don't want to function anything but extraordinary, you will have resistance. You need to stay true to your core, people. You need not to let the mundane or the parasites or social conditioning and the blindfold mold you into someone that you're not. You do not want to lose your identity. You do not want to lose your voice for who you are to fit in. Because other people are then, oh, gee, sorry, you can't do that. guess what? People aren't going to, they will judge a book by the cover. They aren't experts. They might think they're experts. They're experts about nothing. So what I say to you people, that when you're going through your journey, and as I did, when I come back, I'm like, oh my God, my business is falling apart. Why are these people doing this? Lucy goes, maybe it's just what it is and keep going. Yes, exactly. Yeah, look, and with what happened was, it was a blessing. It was a lesson. Because this is the biggest thing I can probably teach you tonight. It is that you look at every lesson and you see why people are reacting a certain way, and you look at what can you learn from this? Why are they acting that certain way? What could I have done better? Yes, in every situation when you look at it, there's always something that you could have done better, and that's great because you're being vulnerable, you're being honest. Okay, I could have done that, we could have tweaked that. Not, hold on a minute, I didn't do anything, it's your fault. Oh, hold on a second, I'm perfect. No, no, no. As leaders, you be vulnerable. You understand that, okay, I could have done this better, that could have happened, so on and so forth. But everything happens for a reason. Everything in life you can learn from it, grow stronger and use it as a blessing, or you can grow weaker and use it as a curse and keep focusing on it and get nowhere. Yeah? Let me have a look. I'm far away from the screen today. Eleni goes, the biggest lesson, if you don't meet my standards, they're not exactly, then you won't be in your life. Love that. That's right. In others, let their standards down, drop. I'm speaking from experience, as you know. And there you go. At least you're a big enough man to understand that. So that's fantastic. Good to have you on, Teresa. As your sister just said, hi sis. And as Helene and Chris, they always beat me to it because they have learned too well. That's what you're doing. Leaders creating leaders. So, and as these things came through, there was times when I reacted in a way that didn't serve me. There was times that I wanted to give up. There was times when I said, fuck this. Why is this always happening? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. Like, why are we having all these problems? Why is this happening? Why did that person say that? That was supposed to be my mentor. Why are these people saying that? They're supposed to be, family. Why are these people doing that? And my archangel Gabriel and Michael came down and hit me over the head with their sword and said, you know the answer. And I said, what? They said, you know the answer. And I looked at him, not really, I looked within myself, I was meditating, and what came to me was, Lee, people don't want this life as bad as you do. People do not believe that they can make a difference in this world. Other people haven't experienced this life and don't have what it takes to better the world and be a shining example, because they're so used of having the pain. They're so used of having the mundane. They're so used of just getting by, and the rest of that, they're going to cause pain on others because that's what they're used of. And when you come in, and they get a result. Do they get a result? Yes, they come in and have this amazing life. So why has it changed? Have you changed? Have you stopped getting results? No. So why is it changed? It's changed because people want to drop their focus, attention, their ability, their strengths, their love, and their light, and focusing on something which is exactly, you're scared to change, and they focus on something that doesn't serve them. Yeah? I'm telling you parts of the story, so this is going to really give you a great understanding. So as you know through that, I've given you a live experience about the challenges of when you want to give up, when you've had enough. And through this process, I was sitting in the flotation tank and I could hear a voice saying, don't give up, don't give up. Yep, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And whoever it could have been, if I was making it up, if I was, if you don't believe in spirits, if you don't believe in higher powers, it's up to you. If I was hallucinating, and it said and I say the universe was whispering in my ear, keep going, because what I see is that you will be faced with diversity. You'll be faced with the people that don't serve you. You'll have people that will talk behind your back. You'll have people that will say all that. That's fantastic. Where does that get them? Where are you? Where are they? So what I'm going to teach you right now, in life, whatever's happened, if you're finding like a financial struggle, if your partner's done something, left you, if someone, you've lost your job, or someone's just done something repulsive, what I want to say to you is that if you focus another second on the problem, then what you will understand is that if you keep focusing on the problem, it's happened, it's there. But what you need to start doing, rewiring your mind and focusing on what you want straight away. Become selfish and do not give that time. Handle that adequately. Put the things into place. Put people into place to handle that. And start looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. Start looking and being the person that you need to be. Because I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something about my life. In my life goals, I want to be, like I've always been an athlete, I want to be a specimen of health. I don't just want to look good and feel good. I want to look exceptional and feel exceptional, that people are motivated and inspired by just the way I want to look, yeah? I want to be able to create abundance and wealth that I can go and help so many people throughout the world and add massive value in their lives and keep going around and experience and taste the pleasures of the world. I want to be standing up on stages and contributing to millions and millions of people, standing up and empowering them just like I'm doing now. I shouldn't say I want to. I will be creating legacies. I'll be creating a family and an environment and an army of people that are going to be having amazing lives, mindsets that they can funnel that down to their children's. That the ripple effect is going to change so many lives. I will create an amazing relationship with myself every day and with my partner and with every other person that's in my life that functions at my ability, higher than my ability and standards that are higher, that we will create an amazing relationship that empowers people through that. I will become the best version of me because that is my passion, that is my pleasure, that I always want to become better. And I will stand in my spiritual power and understanding that we are spiritual beings just in human flesh. Yeah? So that's my goals. But how am I going to be able to get there? By thinking what I did yesterday, by focusing on someone that doesn't care about me, by sleeping in, by functioning at anywhere level. So what you need to understand, people, okay, you've got the challenge, you've had the problem, you've got the financial strain, okay, you're sick, you've got all that, but how are you going to get out of it? Staying in that old identity? How are you going to see the light at the end of the tunnel if you're walking around like that? You need to become that identity. You need to become, okay, so I want to be all of this, what I've written, then who do I have to be? What is the identity? What is the character? How do I act? How do I stand? How do I handle these things? So if I want to be one of the world's best inspirational coaches, that if someone's not holding themselves accountable and I'm getting caught up wasting days in that, is that being congruent to who I want to be? It's not congruent. It's way off. I'm never going to be that person if I keep focusing on that. And if I'm going to have health and look after my body like it's a temple, but if I'm smoking and drinking and I'm eating junk food, then am I going to be able to have that body that I respect, illness-free, injury-free, as I say? Or am I just lying? I'm just lying because that's not going to happen. If I want to generate abundance, that I know that I'm a magnet to abundance, and I want wealth of health, of time, of riches, experience the nice things in life, to have that understanding, to be able to use that wealth for power, to empower others and growth, then if I'm sitting on my ass watching TV, if I'm not getting out bettering myself, if I'm not becoming a stronger energy entity or a stronger energy being, then how am I going to get that energy out to others? If I'm not getting more energy in by understanding and becoming a better version of me, then how am I going to be able to put more energy out? How is my energy going to increase that I'm going to be having a return? It isn't. Yeah? Challenges will always exist. You're actually quite amazing at this. Oh, thank you, Lucy. That's cool. I think I'm pretty amazing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done that. So I have to remember. I don't want to be naive, but I have to remember from TCI. I blocked a few things out of TCI on purpose. But send me. I'm pretty sure we're friends on Facebook. But I have to remember who exactly you are, and I don't mean to be rude with that. There was things that I blocked out on purpose. So what I really want to go over and where I want to go deep with as well, that a lot of the understandings in the groups and leading people, that you need to put your focus on, because what I want to ask you a question is that if you put a second on something that's the past or something that's happened, is it going to change it? No. How do you keep yourself, how do you have that inner peace? How do you see light at the end of the tunnel? How do you keep going? You shift your focus attention away from what has happened and you focus on everything. And if your mind starts to slip, because it will want to take you back to that bullshit, wants to take you back to the past, wants to take you back to that pain, you need to be and have that awareness, which is the lifesaver and the safety net of you need to stop that and you need to start moving forward and bang, off you go. Because this is where it gets sexy. That's, yeah, I thought so, Chris. That's why I wasn't remembering. But Lucy, I'm trying to remember the name. I'm not trying. I will remember the name. So where it really started to become sexy for me is that I didn't have to look for the tools. I wouldn't focus on the pain. I could realign myself like that my thought and my emotional intelligence was just so sharp, so quick, and it would just realign itself, because I was programming and forcing my mind to, and it is forced because you're going out and you're focusing and moving it away from that, what I want to be every day, by the success priming, by journaling, by having a plan, seeing it, believing it. And that what saved me, because I got my mind to look forward to things. I started to forward project. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if we keep focusing on what happened, someone left me, someone was this, I've got no money, I've got pain, this person said this, all that stuff, then where's that going to get us? We are conditioned to feel the pain. We're conditioned to focus on something that we don't want, that we can't change, which is living at the effect, living at the problem. So people, what I've dedicated my life, what I've dedicated my soul and my experiences, this exchange of energy, is to giving people an understanding, giving people a funnel, giving people a system, giving people that, because be honest with you, these live streams can only give you so much information. They can only lead you to a certain point, but you need to be involved in an environment, involved in tasks, involved in a certain operational skills that are going to lead you into being that identity. Not jumping from being, overweight to being a bodybuilder or being a sports model. No, it's every day just doing enough, just doing what you can do in the pockets of your time, which is exceptional. Some people go, oh, I've only got an hour, I've got that. Okay then. Because then you don't watch TV, then you don't sleep in, then you don't go to the movies, because you don't reward yourself if you don't have the results. Because I see people, they're struggling with money, they're struggling with this, but they're going out and they're doing this, and oh, I'm going to lunch, but I can't pay for my coaching bill, or I'm going for this and I can't pay for my whatever. And I'm like, guys, you're not getting this. That you can't just keep going out like that. You need to be focusing on what's important and how you're going to be able to move through that. So I would say that you want to be focusing on yourself. It's not self-development. I hate when people say self-development, because if you have to say you have to develop, then you're behind the 8 ball. It becomes your life. It becomes your lifestyle. Oh, I'm going to go to the gym because I want to lose weight. No. I am on a journey of happiness, and this is a part of what I do every day. Yeah? And then you go, if you're talking about wealth creation and energy, I just want to make money, so I'll put it in a bank account. No, it doesn't happen that way. What you're understanding is it's not about the money and the creation, it's about adding value to other people. And the more you help people get what they want without even knowing or asking, you have everything you want without even knowing about it. It's a side effect. Yeah? But it's not like, okay, I need to do this for that. No. It becomes your life. It doesn't become about, I'll put a few hours in here, I'll put a few hours in there. It doesn't happen that way. If you want to be an exceptional athlete, do you go out drinking? Do you go out partying? Do you miss training? Oh, just do it. No. That becomes you. You become the sport. You become the activity. And what people aren't understanding, if you want to become a professional human, if you want to become great at what you do, you don't do it when you feel like it or when someone says, hey, do it in here. You do it from the time you get up and your feet hit the ground to the time your head hits the pillow. And then the other stuff that you have to do, the mundane, fits into that. Yeah? Are you getting that? So it's not the other way around. Well, I'm going to go and talk to, Susie, and I'm going to go have a beer with Bob. And yeah, I might just, I'll waste a bit of time, and I want to look at the fucking stars, and It doesn't happen like that. That your life is your desired outcome. It's not the other way. You do not fit your desired outcome into your life. And a lot of people, and I'll give you an understanding just quickly. And I wanted to share this with everybody. So there's a number of reasons why I created the retreats, yeah? There's a number of reasons why I created this workshop, because being in Melbourne needs this. There are so many people walking around that are pretending they know what they're doing or what they want. They're pretending they're not in pain, but it's a lie. Because you see them, you ask them some questions, they don't know what's happening, and they say, oh, well, I'm doing this, and, you know, and they might look good from the outside. Their bodies might look okay. They might have a rented car, Mercedes, or they might be doing a job, but really deep down, they're screaming out for fucking someone help me. Someone take me out of this pain. Yeah. And I've seen it. You know, people creating band-aids of it's called money, wealth, because that they think that's going to fix it. And these people are about to explode. Their marriages are falling apart. Their health, they're overweight. They're creating, putting all this in, and all they're focusing on is significance. And it's it's just really out of this place. And people are like, hold on a minute. Then they want to change, because then they get slapped with the truth. They get slapped with illness. They get slapped with, you know, pain. And then they're like, geez, I better do something. So what was the question that I asked on social media was how much is overcoming the below topics to you? What would you pay in exchange to learn and to master the skills that are listed below? So obviously it's subconscious reprogramming for success, happiness, and live a life in the now, not in the past. There are so many people that live in the past that keep focusing on what happened yesterday, the day before, this person left me 20 years ago, and they're robbing time and so many precious moments from when they could be focusing on the now. Like if you just worry about, look, I picked this up, and then I thought about picking it up again, I've wasted that. I've wasted it. Like, do you know what I'm saying, people? And then we talk about, to understand, and this is a big one, it talks about the identity creation meditation, like understanding and teaching people how to every day focus their attention and meditate to become the identity, like program your mind who you need to be, how you're going to get there, how do you need to stand, how do you need to breathe, how do you need to eat. You become that person. And that is constantly working on yourself every day. Guided meditation, because when I was telling people about this, they didn't really understand it. So some people go, oh yeah, it's pretty good. Some people said it's priceless, because that's just, you know, that's the chosen answer. But with all these things in there, once you start to understand how precious this is and how powerful and able you are, you will blow your effing mind. Then we talk about the empowerment through the correct inner mind strategies, mindfulness. So the power of the correct inner mind strategies is being aware with what you're thinking, not all the time, but most of the time, that is going to, instead of you going off, because we feel like we're doing the right thing throughout the day, but if we're becoming unconscious to the wrong habit, to the wrong skill, to the wrong speech, to the wrong thought pattern, it can actually give you an understanding which is going to destroy your mind, yeah? And it's just going to go, and you think that you're doing the right thing, and you feel like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and I'm taking the kids there, and I'm speaking to this person, and I'm doing yoga, I'm doing that. But once you start understanding the correct inner mind strategies, thought patterns, you are going to be the happiest, healthiest, clearest minded person in the world. And then you're going to go, oh my God, life is actually easy. It's scary. And not many people can say that. I've been around some, you can say awake people, if you want to call them successful. I like to call them awake. And they go, Lee. And I said, you know what? And actually Corey said to me, he goes, how can you be happy? And I'll admit, I'm not always this bubbly. But I'm working to have that. But what I said to these people, I'm like, how are you always, and I've been around you for 2 weeks, how are you always, you've got a smile on your face and you're so happy, you're so bubbly, how? And they go, Lee, because it's no secret. I have worked on myself. I have conditioned myself. I'm believing in myself that much that life is easy, because I don't have any limitations. I don't have any thought patterns that don't serve me. I be who I want to be, and I keep working on that every day. And then what I want and desire just falls on my path. It comes there and it just lays in front of me because I've done the work enough to condition that I don't have these limiting beliefs. I don't live in the past. And what I'm teaching what I teach people, what I'm going to be teaching at the 2-day workshop is that. What I teach people at the retreats, which you've experienced, what we teach ongoing with the coaching calls is just that. And we want to keep going. So we've got 10 minutes before the team has to get off before this next call. This is a big one. Suicide prevention. What if you could teach people not to kill themselves? What if you could lead people into understanding, or yourself? I knew what it take for me not to want to kill myself again because I attempted 3 times. And what that is a deep subconscious programming which is different for everybody, but it's understanding and focusing on the right points, because guess what? Things will knock you off the path. People will take your attention, but it's doing what you need to do every day, being around the right people, seeing what we're doing here. It's called focus. It's called attention, to understand how we can get that. What did you say? Yes, you can tell that what you when we met you. Awesome. Thank you. So, and what did Chris say? Awareness, understanding, disassociate, recondition. There you go. 4 pillars of change. Awesome. So, when you're understanding in this, people, and knowing what you need to do, and this is what it's about. So we can't do live streams for 24 hours of a day. You know, we're not going to be sitting there in front of a teacher and taking that in. Some people do, but let's just be honest, we've got other things that we need to do. But what I'm going to tell you, that what we teach, what you should be doing as well, if it's not with us, with other people, that it's that understanding what your attention's going, how you're feeling. Because I'll be honest, most of you people must be feeling excited, must be feeling, inspired, motivated, that you're going, fuck, that makes sense, this is right. Because I know I am. You can see, do you feel like I'm inspired? Do you feel like I'm passionate about what I'm talking about? Of course I am. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing this. I've got so much stuff to be doing, but this is to lead you. This is to condition me. This is me showing you that I am committing and declaring to be the best version of me every day. And by doing this, I'm buzzing. By doing this, I'm sharing the energy with you. You're getting it? So this is a gift to you, yeah? Back to me, to you, and back to me. And it is because of everything that's happening. So why I'm breaking this down, because a lot of people, I want to give people an understanding for what we do and why we're here, yeah? And more importantly, how you can take these and take them into your now and beyond, which is now in your future, to have an existence that you could only imagine, but you knew that you truly, truly believe. I could do that. I have done a global course of suicide. Oh, I've just missed that. Let me have a quick look. I've done a global course on suicide prevention, to be interested in chatting with you about it. Yeah, awesome. Awesome, that'll be fantastic. So suicide prevention, and over my time, for what people have told me and where I've been actually in the physical presence, I have saved thousands and thousands of people's lives. My one, 3 times, very good family friends, very good friends, and a lot of people that even indirectly have said, because if it wasn't for your message, if it wasn't for your phone call, if it wasn't for your video, I don't know where I'd be. And do you know what I'm saying? And that's why what we're doing, it is so powerful, and it needs to get out to the world, and it will. So then we want to talk about, there you go, be inspired by my story, my personal battles of darkness and light. What that is about is giving you an understanding where I've been, because if I can do it, people, trust me, you could all do it 10 times better. 100%. If I can do it, if I've been in the dark, then you could do it 10 times better, because it doesn't, I'm not sitting here going, oh, pity myself or anything, none of that at all. But I want to lead you for where I've been, where I put myself behind the 8 ball. I wasn't someone built, born with a silver spoon, or went to university, or did all that. But I really fucked up my life quite well. And I put a lot of pain, and I made it worse than it needed to be. And I'll say that again. I made my life worse than it needed to be because of my attention, my thought patterns, me feeling sorry for myself. And I got out of that. Yeah? And I got challenged again in October. But because I knew what I'm teaching you now, it hurt 10 times more than it did 6 years ago. And I'm now bigger, better, stronger than I've ever been. So the results speak for themselves, yeah, with others and myself. Then we want to talk about spirituality and connecting with your inner being. Why I want to teach you that is that we aren't just this flesh and bone. Yeah, we aren't. We are energy, if you want to call it spirit or whatever you need to call it in the English language, but however you want to express yourself, that when you start believing that we have powers, we do. When you start believing that we aren't just walking around and, getting in cars and doing the mundane things, that we have a higher consciousness, we've been put on this planet for more than being in a 9-to-5 job, by doing this, doing that, popping out a few kids or doing whatever, and then dying. No, that is not right. This is not my opinion. That is my 100% belief. Because I tell you what, if you told me 6 years ago about being spiritual and we're having beliefs, I would have gone, yeah, no worries. Yep, I feel like I'm spiritual when you give me a line of cocaine or something. That's what I would have said to you. I'm being honest there. And, I don't do any of that anymore. But what I'm telling you is the more you can connect with that, you'll be like, that's one of those aha moments. That's like as Chris said, the popcorn. And you'll be like, fuck my God, like look how able I am. I've got this hidden power, I've got this hidden energy or this hidden ability. Like honestly, like you feel like a young kid again, playing make believes, like playing that you're some character, but you're just a character of amazing energy, and that's what we teach, and that's what we're getting into. And a lot of people go like, geez, what is that? I'm not religious. It's not religious at all. It's your spiritual being. Then we talk about being in control of your quality of life. That's what people don't understand. People, they feel like they're trapped. They feel like they're forced. They feel like they can't. That's exactly right. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Beautiful. And what people will need to start to understand is that when we start to go over and understand that we are control, you do not need to be in a relationship. It's a choice. You don't need to be in that job. It's a choice. You don't need to be living where you're living. It's a choice. Everything is a choice. Then you will understand that you will be in control of your life. That someone comes up and says something to you, it's a choice for you to allow it to react to it or not. Someone does whatever, it's a choice for you to make that choice and decision for you to be able to feel the way you feel. Oh, it's because of the weather. It's a choice if you allow yourself to feel cold. It's a choice if you allow yourself to feel sick. It's a choice if you allow anything. You need and understand when it's a choice, you bring back power to your life. You bring back power and certainty into your heart that you're in control of how you operate all the time. And that, my friends, is fucking powerful. Yeah? Then understanding personal and spiritual growth. That's by you rocking it and getting into that. Look, I won't get into the spiritual side of things too much more. Elaborated through that, but understanding your spiritual growth, and that is a whole other 10 live streams which we can get deep into. If we talk about spiritual growth, that the more I meditate, the more I'm using the flotation tanks, meditate, crystals. I've got my crystals bloody everywhere. This is my Herkimer diamond, very cleansing diamond. I've got all my other crystals here. And then that's getting that power, unleashing that inner power that you have inside of you. Defeat depression. People say they've got depression. I use that word so people can, logically relate to it. I feel shit, I'm not, and that's because you're focusing on that, disrupting that. But what I'm going to teach you right now, just quickly, that there are a lot of other so-called gurus, there's a lot of other teachers out there, and what they do, they will force feed information into you, which sometimes it gets through, sometimes it makes a change. But do you know those paper shredders? The paper shredders? That, if you put in paper through there, the paper comes through, but it's all ripped up and only little bits get through. That's the same as when there's magic all around us. But your subconscious, which people call the editor, I like to call the editor or the paper shredder, that all this magic and this reality is coming through, and because of your paper shredder is just ripping it up, distorting it, generalized, deleting it, your structure of reality, when it comes into you, it's all mickled up, it's distorted, it's generalized, and it's deleted. So when you're understanding about, talking about depression, talking about information, I have been taught, and I have led myself, that we are going to remove the paper shredder and alter the filter. So we're not just what we call, the top of the cappuccino. oh look, we need to get rid of that. We'll just sweep it off. But then underneath, you've got that. Or it's that iceberg that destroyed the Titanic. You know, okay, let's just cut the top of it, but then you've got this massive root cause. It's like cutting back the berries. What happens? You cut the berries off, the berries grow back. You need to go down and rip it out. You need to rip the core out. You need to rip out the root cause, the roots, yeah? And that's giving people an understanding of, oh, okay, you want to use a Band-Aid. A lot of the methods they use are Band-Aids. What I teach and what we teach aren't Band-Aids, people. Like, people understand that when you come to the retreat for the 6 days, when you come for the workshop, that you learn, you have the ha-ha, you have the clicks, you have the twitches, you see the change, you feel it. But then it's up to you what you do afterwards. So you do not want the Band-Aid to go back on. You want to rip the Band-Aid off and keep that off and be learning that, understanding the strategy, so you're letting the magic come in constantly. Very important and very accurate. Understanding self-love, that this is a very deep one to go into, that you will want to see light at the end of the tunnel. You will want to keep succeeding. You will want to keep moving forward, because you deserve that. With self-love, everything becomes easy, everything is strong, everything is certain, because you are saying, I love myself, I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to eventually find out where I need to go. When you produce and when you create self-love within yourself, people, that's your reason why. That is your laser beam. That's when you become magnified, or not magnified, oh yes, magnified, but magnetized towards your life that you deserve. People want to look without, but they hate themselves. They don't love. They love it. So they create these facades. They create these shells. They create this plaque. And what happens with that is that you're going to be forcing it and doing meaningless activity. No worries, Eleni, go rock out the live, go and rock out the team. Cool, absolutely, thank you, appreciate it, love you. So when you don't have that core, when you don't have the self-love, you are just faking it, and life gets hard, and that's when you stop. So have you ever done, I feel great today, and then I have a bad day, and then I'll stop. Then I'll take another day off. Before you know it, you take a week off, month, take a year, and you're completely off the track. You forgot what you're doing, and you've stopped. Yeah, we all know that. So healing yourself physically, mentally, spiritually as well, understanding how you can heal yourself, people, it's going to be absolutely huge. You know, I'll go into that another time. Mastering self-conviction and self-esteem, they are some things that are huge as well. When you're understanding, when you're mastering conviction, that the conviction is not confidence. Confidence is when you are moving through certain terminologies. Conviction is inspiration. Conviction is sexy in a human, because there's not many humans that are operating with conviction, yeah? So you really need to understand that it's so powerful that when you're moving through life and you're understanding, when you're growing, that conviction is going to get you from here to there. Conviction will give you from A to B, and it is so important, and you need to make sure of that. Opening your universal consciousness, we can discuss that another time, because that needs to be explained in depth. Mental health awareness, obviously there's massive misconception, and I say mental health, not mental illness. You say mental illness, you're already giving it an anchor of illness. Personal growth and development, how when you're talking about the personal growth and they tell PT, how there's a big misconception around that. And personal development and rethinking, again, it says mental illness. You want to completely reword those. So what I want to share with you, people, that a lot of you people that are on here tonight that have sent me messages are wanting to change their life, yeah? Wanting to do something different, wanting to experience life through a different pair of eyes. They want to be in pain. They want to move. But what I'm going to say to you, you need to do something drastically right now. You need to change in here this much to experience this much of change out here. And what that means is that you can't, I don't have time, I can't get time off work, I don't have money, because life will come to you and you will have to find the time. You won't have a job and you'll have to find the money, because it's giving you something and saying, you know what, how much do you want to change? How bad do you want to change? And the reason why you do not do everything in your power to change, it is because you truly do not love yourself enough to do whatever it takes to have that change. Because what I say to you all, and how I want to leave this, I will guarantee that everything that we create, not because it's like egotistic and it's like, okay, well, you know, it's my thing and I want to take your money, I want to take your time, I want to take your awareness. It's about that we've created what we've created through people experiencing what they've experienced, through what I've experienced. We are so passionate about what we do that it's a no-brainer that the world will know about what we're doing, and you need to know about this as well, because you can't say, oh, I want to do this and I can't get time off and I can't get money together. What that just shows me and shows you do not love yourself enough to develop the strategy of getting more time, to develop the strategy of having a small, making a small commitment, or having the time off to change your life. Because what do you want? Do you want someone to say, well, you know what? We're going to take your family away from you. We're going to take your health away from you. We're going to take your life away from you. And now we're going to see how much you want to change. And that sometimes, people, is what it takes for people that want to change. That you have things removed. You'll be in that much pain that will make you motivated, because you're not saying, and this is what happens. When you're motivated in pain, you're not saying, I deserve this and I love myself, so I'm going to change. You're only changing because you're in pain. And that is not a good motivational or inspiration, people. And most of us do that because we're in pain. But what is a pure understanding when you will become a higher being? When you get motivated because you say, you know what, I love myself, so I am going to change because I deserve better. But when you come from pain, when you come from punishment, when you come because someone's been removed out of your life, that is not a good strategy, because you are doing something but you aren't developing that love inside. So what I want to leave you all with tonight, that I want you to elect a strategy and understand that you need to start loving yourself inside. You need to start being in an environment, and you know what we've just done now, the attention, the focus, and how you're feeling, that we can create this moment, every moment throughout your day. We can create this exchange. We can create this motivation or inspiration and conviction. You don't need to sit there in your dark thoughts and let one dark thought, another dark thought, and let it pile up on you. We can break through that. We can be able to move forward. We can have that strength. Yeah? And that's what I want to say to you. So people, don't let this message go on deaf ears. Don't let what we're doing, and don't let this be a full stop. Don't let it be a dead end. So what I say to you, get in contact with me. Let's start creating this self-love. Let's start working on all these mindset strategies, this light at the end of the tunnel, and let's start moving to this greater existence together. Because I will guarantee that people that don't get involved, is that at the end of the day, you know this works. People know me, how far I've gone. You've seen the people's lives that we're changing. You know 100% what we're doing is absolutely amazing, and you know what makes a fit for you. And nod your heads, yes, but why you are stopping? Because you haven't elected the strategy to love yourself enough to say, I deserve this, and I will stop at nothing to get this and to do what I want. Because you don't have to keep looking. Yeah, stop looking. People go, I'm searching. You don't have to keep looking. You found it, because we customize that this system, what we do, fits into you. You don't fit into that. So it doesn't mean you lose your way in what we do in our system and environment. We bring in the changes so it fits into you. So what I'm going to leave you with tonight, that I want this to simmer, that I want you to start electing a strategy in you tonight, that you love yourself enough to contact me. If it's not me, someone that can get you the result, to say, you know what, I need this. I need to get over to this 2-day retreat or workshop. I need to get to the retreat. I need to be in this environment, this exchange of energy, this exchange of value every day, because I know that when I'm in this accountability, I'm going to be the best version of me. Because I tell you what, see how I'm functioning through this live stream? I'm not functioning always with this conviction, always with this certainty, always with this energy. There's times I'm down and all that. But if I function through this exchange that you've allowed me to share with you today, while I will say to you that my life will be nothing but exceptional. And that's because of how I am functioning, how I'm holding myself. And I'll be honest with you, I don't hold myself 24 hours like this throughout the day. There's times my mind will drift and I need to bring it back. There's times I'm tired. There's times I might say the wrong thing, but I'm human. Yeah, but I will keep working on myself enough to be able to function at this. And you know what? And this is another thing. 2-3 years ago, I couldn't talk like this. I didn't have the conviction. I couldn't express myself like this. I didn't have the certainty to do it. I'd be stuttering. And you can see through my journey that the more I be me, the more I keep getting better to keep refining me, my life improves and so does yours. So what I say to you, I want you to elect a strategy of self-love for you to say and walk away tonight and say, you know what, I deserve. I want to get in contact with Lee. I want to get in contact with whoever because I need this interaction every day. I need this leadership because once I'm in this leadership, this energy, knowing, I know that I'm going to be the best version of me. I'm in a safe place. I'm getting realigned. And more importantly, I'm actually believing that I deserve this. Yeah. So guys, send me an inbox. Let's get together. Let's persistence exactly, and it's the same as Jody. She's from New Jersey. You know, we've never met before, but it feels like we've known each other forever. You know, and that's exactly what she's part of the True Authentic Reality. Looking at coming to the retreat, so that's absolutely amazing. And what I say, people, it's not services. These things have been put together from trial and error over my life, over the 7 years, over different things that didn't work. Let's change this. Let's move that around, and it's a no-brainer. So develop the strategy of self-love, and not saying that you're going to be loving yourself fully. You're on a journey. We're always on a journey. So elect that strategy of self-love, that you want to reach out, that you want to become a better version of yourself. And I know when you've reached out, I will give you a big cyber hugging kiss to know that you've actually said, well, you know what? I'm loving myself. I want to do this. Okay. Have an awesome night. You know, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. We always know how to get there. Let's be around people that have been there, are here, and are where we want to be as well, and create that. So having a fantastic night, people. You do not need to do this on your own because you're not on your own. Develop that self-love, and then everything else falls into place. Have an amazing night. Take care.